Okay. First and foremost, you've been in professional sports quite a long time. Have you ever known a day like today?
No, not really. It's been quite surreal, and it's been a real challenge. Considering the staff and players were in our rooms until 6 o'clock this evening. We didn't get the results back until 5:30, and then had to make a few changes. But incredibly proud of the performance and the players and how they adjusted and how the staff worked so hard today. So I came away from there today thinking, like I said, I was really proud of that. But more than the performance, the result, really proud of the togetherness of the group and how much they wanted to go out there and perform and play and wear this jersey.
Every team has a moment or a performance that brings them together. I guess from what you're saying is you think this could be today for this group of players?
Yeah, well, my message to the players is let's use this as a positive. Let's use it that whatever's thrown at us, that we can deal with it. Nothing's going to faze us, and we were in a situation where we weren't in control of things, so we just had to go with the flow and adjust. And we talk about potentially being in a situation of chaos, then being able to adapt and then change, and kind of that's really what we did today. And the players were absolutely outstanding in their approach, and just how vocal they were in the change rooms afterwards. And I thought the way they supported each other and on the pitch was tremendous.
A 7-1 bench split in the end. I'm not sure anyone would have done that by choice normally. How did you come up with the rest of the bench? Was it a case of almost of asking for volunteers, maybe forwards who could do a job in the backs if necessary?
Yeah, a little bit like that. Yeah, so we had some close contacts that weren't available, and a couple of players were carrying just some small knocks, and so we had to change the 9 and 10 with Ali Price, who'd had a little bit of a quad hit on his quad, and so he fronted up, and then Owen Farrell as well, and so that was kind of. And then Finn Russell, his Achilles had been sore, so he went on the bench for us, and so those players doing those sorts of things, and then we weren't too disrupted with the forward pack and the bench, and Tyg Byrne had to come out, so Murray came in there, and then we put Hamish Watson and Talupe Faletau just to cover. We know that they could have gone into the back line if we needed, but we were able to actually bring them on and play them in the forwards and give them an opportunity as well. So the backs did it really tough today, and I just said to them afterwards, it was a hell of a lot easier for the forwards because they were able to get replaced with the backs dug incredibly deep, and then we took Duhan van der Merwe off. I mean, his hamstrings were tightening up, so we were down to 14 men. We were able to score. Josh Adams' try was when we were down to 14 men, and then Louis Rees-Emmett's hamstrings tightened up as well, so we played the last few minutes with 13 men when the game was comfortably in the bag.
Is there any news regarding a possible game at the weekend? Because the statement said there was an option of trying to rearrange a game, and does maybe today affect that? Because by the look of it, you need to have a lot of guys backing up from today into the weekend due to the close contacts.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, my understanding. Look, I need to talk to the medical team about that and get a report from them, and then we'll talk tomorrow about if there's a game for the weekend. My understanding is one of the positives is a very, very weak positive, and if he is retested tomorrow and it's negative, then his close contacts should be okay. So we kind of probably need to wait for that, and then I need to get back and have some information and report back from the medical team about the players and how they are today. And someone like Josh Adams has fronted up 3 games in a row, so he's some player that we probably need to rest. But I've got to take my hat off to these players. They've really dug deep for the whole squad, and it just shows to me what it means to play for the British and Irish Lions.
Thank you, Warren.
Cheers. Thanks, Andrew.
Hi, Warren.
Just back to the COVID situation and what you've experienced today, I just wonder what concerns you have now moving forward, indeed maybe perhaps over the viability even of the tournament.
No, not at all. I mean, we've been incredibly vigilant in terms of what we've been doing as a group. I said we've been in this bubble for the last 4 weeks, and so we're not sure where it's come from. It's I think the challenging thing was when we first came into the hotel, where there was a number of the hotel staff that had tested positive and had to be removed, and so whether it's come from that or not, but I know all our tests had been negative up until today. So yeah, we'll just address it as it goes. I mean, we knew that there were going to be certain challenges, and we are hopeful that we can get things back on track and this test series can go ahead.
Looking at the performance in the United States, what was the most pleasing aspect for you?
I was really pleased overall with our defence. I thought they didn't look as though they were causing us any problems. I mean, there was a few times when the game really loosened up and they got a few passes away. They stressed us a bit, but I thought defensively we looked very strong and we created some opportunities and finished off some great tries. They posed a little bit of a different defensive threat, different to what the Lions did the other night. So we had to play through them a little bit more, and what was pleasing me on a couple of those tries, just the patience that we kept and played through phases and waited to finish opportunities, where on the first game we were probably forcing things a little bit more and trying to, with the times where we had a number of turnovers, probably just trying to force the situation too much, but we kept our patience a lot more tonight.
I know Josh Navidi's been highlighted in the summary tonight as well. Can you talk about the impact he's having?
Sorry, I missed that question.
Yeah, just on Josh Navidi's been highlighted really in the summary on Sky Sports this evening. Or that, I just wonder if you can talk about the impact he's having with you.
Look, he's an absolute quality player, and he was definitely one of the guys that were in contention, and we didn't initially select him because he'd had a shoulder injury, hadn't had any rugby, and we wanted to make sure there was no guarantee that he was going to get back fit. So the ironic situation is he sort of benefited from Justin Tipurick's unfortunate injury, and that gave him a little bit more time and back in training fully with Wales. So look, I've known him for a long time, and it took a number of years before he probably, he may have deserved more recognition, and there was criticism of me and Wales for not picking him earlier, but when he's been fit, he's been one of the mainstays of that Welsh side, and he's definitely important to them. And I thought the loose forward tree complemented each other, and they all did some really good things today. So speaking to the boys afterwards, there's still the effects of altitude are still getting to them. They were blown like anything. So it was tough out there this evening, and particularly the challenge is you've been stuck in your room for sort of 8 hours today. It's not the easiest thing, but he acquitted himself well, and those new caps should be really proud of their performance. Although Adam Baird had a good game today too, really defended their maul exceptionally well, and pleasing with a number of performances, but just more than that, pleased with the whole attitude of the squad.
And finally, for me, Warren, just to check on those injuries to Risa and they're not too serious.
No, they're not injuries. They're just the hamstrings were tightening up, and the game was won, and so we just precautionary just took them off the field. There was no need to risk them. They were just they'd done a lot of running in the game. Duan scored 3 tries, and Louis had got on the score sheet as well. So there was no point in risking those players that had given us everything they had, really.
Thanks, Warren.
Cheers.
Hey Warren, Beth from ITV. Just a couple from me. First of all, Josh Allen's, I know we're speaking about him a lot, but he's making it look very easy out there at the moment.
Oh, it's tough on him. Look, he's scoring tries, and that defensively he got better at fullback. He was a couple of errors defensively in terms of his positional play, but then he definitely got better at fullback. It's been tough on him. Ideally we wanted to rest him tonight, but he stepped up and played a full 80 minutes. So that's, you got to take your hat off to him, and he knows where the try line is, doesn't he? So he's making the most of his opportunities, and he's definitely putting his hand up.
So 6 months ago, we were all used to seeing empty stadiums, so we're back here seeing Wembley almost full. You're obviously still playing in empty stadiums. What is it like over there? Because it seems a bit lonely.
Oh, I don't know. I think it's that's brought us closer together as a group, and the players really haven't experienced crowds at all. I mean, it's only just now back in the UK that they're starting to experience. I mean, it was brilliant at Edinburgh. We had 16,500. So the players have been used to this for the last year. So it's kind of this is the new normal that we talk about. So it's not really any different to what we've been doing before.
Cheers, thank you.
Okay.
Hi Warren, I just want to touch back there on Vinny's comments earlier on about the tour, like, whether or not it's viable or not. But I suppose that's an impossible question to answer at the end of the day, because as we saw today, like, the goalposts are constantly moved. But from someone who's on the ground over there, like, I mean, what's your gut feeling? Do you reckon we'll have the 10 series?
Oh, absolutely. I honestly believe that we will have a test series, and kind of like you get a case, and we spoke beforehand. It wasn't. I mean, our medic said, look, there's a likelihood of being in South Africa, we're going to get a case or two, and it's just how we deal with it. So the players have been incredibly vigilant. I mean, South Africa are probably in a worse situation for us, and we've got some time in the next couple of weeks to hopefully get everyone right so that we can have a good test series and make sure that we're safe and secure in our bubbles, and that's definitely what we've been trying to do. So we're not sure where we picked these cases up from, whether it was through hotel staff or some people passing by at the matches or whatever. I'm not 100% sure, but it's definitely, as far as we're concerned, we're preparing and really looking forward and excited to a test series.
Thank you, everybody.
Cheers. Thanks, guys. Thank you.